Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Coffee Time with Byron. I am your host, Byron. Alongside me is former MLB player Kevin Mench. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. I like the
I'm
jersey,
good.
by the way. Even though
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
Char- even though I'm a Charger fan, but hey, I do like the jersey, and I do hope they win tonight against the Packers.
I'm looking forward to it. Always ready for football season, for
Speaking of,
sure.
did you watch the game last night? It was some
No,
game last night.
no, I don't watch anything other than my team. That's why I don't do fantasy football or anything else.
There you go. I feel you on that. Hey, if I had if I wasn't such a big fan, yeah, that's how I would do it. I would only strictly watch my teams. I feel you on that. So yeah, let's hop right into it. Actually, since you got before we get into the baseball topics, I do got to ask you. Yeah, since you are a Philadelphia Eagle fan, I got to ask you, how well do you think they're going to do this year? I mean, Sirianni, I don't know if he's the guy, man. He had a good start last year, and then it just tumbled downhill. You think he's the man for your team?
I'm sure there was some internal stuff going on. I think when Big Dom got suspended from over there, it kind of probably threw a wrench in everything else. But you know, that's why you play it out. I mean, people were predicting them to finish second or third in the division, which is
Yeah,
whatever. That's why you
behind the
play.
Cowboys. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, living here in Dallas, that's all I ever hear. This is our year and everything with all them. So, I get used to dealing with all that all the time. So, but I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Ready to see what Barkley can do and see what Dotson can do now with three legitimate wide receivers to add to the arsenal. So it should be interesting to see how it all plays out. And health is the biggest thing.
yeah. Especially, I think, especially too. I do like Jalen. He's definitely matured a lot since coming in. Like you could tell when he first came in, the maturity was not there yet, but it grew like along during the season. It grew. So I think you guys got yourself a quarterback, and if you guys let him go, oh man, you guys are in trouble if you guys let him go.
Yeah, we got a new OC this year, and Howie went out and made some tremendous trades and some great draft picks. It's just a matter of seeing how it all plays itself out with what they want to do, and I think that's the hardest part is trying to learn new coordinators every year. You
Oh
go to the
yeah.
Super Bowl and everybody wants to take everybody, so it's just and they all chase money and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays itself out. This first month is really probably a feeling out because they really don't play in the preseason anymore because there's so many games. So you kind of just hope they weather the storm to get everybody, really on the same page here in these first 4 or 5 games.
Now tell us a little bit about your uh, high school and college career, reading up to your eventually draft day process and how that went through.
Didn't get drafted out of high school. I didn't hit my physical peak till the summer of my senior year. Went to Delaware for 3 years and kind of what I was told, I put myself on the map my sophomore year when Carlos Pena was a junior at Northeastern. We were up there playing, and I think I had a pretty good game up there. And that's when the scouts, I guess, really took notice.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Team USA after my sophomore year and went to the Cape as well. And then drafted the next year, June of the next year. I know the draft is pushed back this year till
Yes.
July, which is kind of a waste. I don't get it why
Yeah.
they push
Yeah.
it
I don't
back
know
so
either.
far.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all about money these days. So that's what everybody's chasing with the draft and everything else.
No, I agree. I don't. I agree. It's all a money grab, especially nowadays with the owners and all that. It's ridiculous. Um, so you debut with the Texas Rangers in 2002. Tell us about that experience. Who told you were getting the initial call up, and what was it like? And did you have goosebumps? What was it like your first time getting called up to the majors?
We were in Colorado Springs, and my AAA manager at the time, Bobby Jones, was the one who told me. I think I got to the ballpark, and he told me he goes, "Go pack your shit and get out of here." Um, you're going up, so I had to do all that. Got into, I think it was a Friday. Got into Texas Friday night. Didn't play. I think we got rained out Saturday, and then debut was maybe Sunday. I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
but it was one. I mean, the first time you're up there, you just realize, do I belong here? But then once you get through that, you had been doing everything in the spring training the entire time, so you finally realize that you belong um, with guys that I played with that year. I had, let's see, Rafi, Juan, Pudge, Alex, Kenny Rogers, Chan Ho
Yeah,
Park.
you guys were stacked.
Yeah, we had a lot of veteran guys on the team. So, and I kind of gravitated towards the older group because I have older brothers. So that's kind of where I gravitated towards. Had a lot of older guys: Carl Everett, John Rocker, Herbert Perry, Jay Powell, Ismael Valdez. I mean, and there was like the rookies that were there were myself, Hank, Mikey had a year under his belt. Um, I think that's it. Rusty Greer was there. So I mean, we had a bunch. Gabe Kapler, Frank Catalanato. We had a lot of Billy Hasselman. A lot of guys that had a lot of service time at that point.
Now, why do you guys think? Why do you think, in your opinion, you guys weren't? I know, obviously, because of the dreaded evil empire, of course, obviously. But why do you guys think you guys couldn't get to that higher plateau of winning the World Series those years? Because like you said, you guys were stacked with not only just young talent like you guys coming up, but you guys had tons of veterans, like you said. Why do you think it all didn't mesh up into a World Series?
I wish I had the answer for that. Everybody always said it was, nobody wanted to come pitch in Texas because it was too hot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't know. I don't know what people thought. I mean, Kenny did it. Kenny came here and pitched, several different times and said it was never a problem. You kind of learn. I don't know how today's generation would deal with it. It's too hot. They probably couldn't be outside. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what, now it seems like there's more parity now in baseball. Yeah, that's so everybody's got all these new ballparks, state of the art, everything's indoor, but I still feel like sports needs to be played outside.
No, I feel you on that. Yeah, I agree. Well, especially, well, I don't know. Florida, that's kind of different. Florida, I think we do need indoors though, unfortunately, because for baseball wise, at least, because in our summertime, that's when our rainy months are. So, I mean, it's when kind of hard to play ball when a field is drenched. So
It's Florida. It rains every day at 4 o'clock.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, good point.
So I don't think we got rained out much when I played in the Florida State League.
That's
Maybe
true.
one time, but I think that was it because of what I mean. Everything absorbs so well there. It just, but I get it. That never been to that stadium there. We played at Joe Robbie or whatever it was back then. So you know, we played outside there. It wasn't a problem. Humid.
Oh yeah, yeah, you ain't kidding there with how hot it is over here. So, with your rookie year in 2002, you hit 15 home runs, tied for third among rookies. You drove in 60. You finished seven in the rookie of the year balloting. What do you remember most about that year? Uh, and just taking in that whole experience and actually being mentioned as rookie of the year.
I really can't think that far back. It's just I do remember. I think I played the last 2 weeks with two slightly herniated discs in my back.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't that wasn't fun. But it was just I think the experience of being around those guys and just kind of trying to establish myself um, at the major league level. That's just trying to go out and have fun and seeing what I could do.
And then after you had an injury plagued year in '03, you quickly responded back in '04 by setting your career best in average, home runs, and slugging percentage. That'd be a good bounce back year for you coming back from injury. What kind of injury were you coming back from?
Broke my wrist. I got hit with a pitch in I don't know June maybe, and they tried to get it to heal up in a cast to get the bone, and it never healed up. So they had to go back in and take it out. So I missed the entire second half of '03.
Mm. Oh, that's brutal. I couldn't imagine that. Uh, ouch. Uh, and then you posted up after that, similar numbers in '05. Uh, I mean, it's consistency through those couple years. I mean, that had to be a good couple years for you. What do you remember about those about that year, if anything?
Just getting the chance to play. I was a guy. I needed to play. I needed at bats to go out. Some guys could come off the bench and play. I just wasn't one of those guys. I needed to be playing every day. And when I got the opportunity, that's what happened. So I mean, it just give me 500-600 at bats. I'll put numbers up for you. And that
Yeah,
was
yeah. I couldn't see you as a bench player, not even in your older days.
no, that's what I mean. Like I said, it's just a different mentality. Some guys could do it, some guys can't.
Yeah. So that year in '05, you also set a career. This is to me, this is a career accomplishment for any player. This is a single feat. You hit 3 home runs in a single game against Los Angeles. What do you remember about that? And do you remember the pitchers that you hit off of?
Well, I didn't even think about that till I ran into a guy who'd done the scorebook. He was doing that night. It happened in 3 straight innings.
Damn.
And they said, I think that's only the second time in American League history that's ever happened. So it was 3 straight innings. I think the first one was off, or no, off Joel Peralta, a buddy of mine, and then the next 2 were off the same lefty. But then they told me that it was 3 straight innings. I saw it was like the fourth, fifth, and sixth, or fifth, sixth, and seventh innings.
Yeah, you don't find that often. Yeah,
No,
that's crazy.
uh-uh.
Oh wow. Um, then '06, you become the 19th player in history to hit a home run in at least 6 straight games. That that's an accomplishment in itself. No, you're an elite company in that. What do you feel about that? I mean, no player, not many players can say that they had a home run streak like that.
Never really thought about the streak actually. It started. I missed a home run by about 5 inches the night before the streak started in Seattle. My
Mm-hmm.
bat broke, and I think it hit the top of the wall. So one of those where it could have been at 8 straight at that point. But I never really thought about the streak or anything else. I was just ready for the media to leave me alone.
I feel you on that. The damn media. I know. I feel you on that. Um, Now, obviously, I see you were traded. Tell us about that experience and being traded. Does it suck? Do you want to stay with the same team? And do you remember who exactly you were traded for?
I don't remember who I was traded for. It's hard to it's a hard thing to deal with because you just get the call and say, hey, go pack your stuff and leave. You don't really get a chance to say bye to any of your teammates or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
To get your stuff and go. You got a couple hours to go get on a plane, and that's it. And then you move on. So I mean, it's a lot to take in, especially if this is the only thing you've ever known.
Actually,
I know.
let's. Actually, I got here. Let's see who. If you kind of remember now, I got the names here. If this is true, you were traded to the Milwaukee Brewers with your teammates Francisco Cordero, Lance Nix, and Julian Cordero. And going to the Rangers was Carlos Lee and Nelson Cruz.
Okay. I don't remember it. Like I said, that was, gosh, I don't know, 16 years ago.
I know that's crazy, isn't it? I feel old myself, even though I'm not as old. But hey, I feel old myself. I'm which is sad, but regardless. But hey, it is what it is. um, but as soon as you got traded, you got your first hit with the Brewers against the Reds, and you also collected an RBI. I mean, that's a way to situate yourself with a new team.
Yeah. I think it really hadn't hit me yet at that point about being traded. It was just going back to work at that moment. It helped. I knew some of the guys that were there in Milwaukee, so it kind of helped a little bit with the transition.
And I can see why you had. I can see why you have your thing with the media too. I see it now. Tell me if this is true because I feel you on the media. That you had been repeatedly criticized by Brewers fans on radio programs. Is that why you have a thing for media as well?
No,
Is that true?
I don't care what people say or what they think. I never even paid attention to it.
Good. Good. I just had to ask that because I see that here because that you I guess you were heavily criticized, but yeah, that's people for you. They're going to talk regardless. um, I see you also played 1 year um in the Japanese league for the Hanshin Tigers. Tell us about that experience. Is it much different than playing over here in the States?
Yeah, it's completely different. Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Baseball?
I've heard of it, but no, I haven't.
Go watch that movie. That's exactly how Japanese baseball is. It's all about numbers and everything else, and it's completely different. You got to learn a whole new system, really. Those guys that are out there from sun up to sundown during spring training. I mean, the foreign guys were done by noon. These guys come rolling in at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. They're there all day.
Now, were you were there for were you there in process because nobody was willing to sign you unfortunately here yet, so you had to go establish yourself over there to get scouted again by a team? Like, how does that work when you guys got to go when players like you have to go over there if you guys don't have teams over here yet? How does that process work?
It's all about what the agents do. If somebody calls looking for players, that's how they work. That's how it goes. So it's just a matter of, do you want to go over here and try it, or, do you want to stick it out here? So they were offering something, so I went over there to try it out and see.
Oh, there you go. And did you like it that 1 year you were there?
It's different for sure. Just too far away for me.
I agree. It is for sure. I agree. It is definitely it is definitely far for sure. I couldn't handle it over there. Um, so out of all your teams that you played for the Texas Rangers, who you were drafted, not drafted by, but you played for them for 4 years. Then you played for the Brewers 1 year, couple years. Toronto, obviously the Tigers we just mentioned, and then you finished your career with the Nationals. Um, Out of all those teams, uh, who did you enjoy playing for the most? What organization helped you most along the way? Uh, or shall I say, what hitting coach also helped you along the way since you were primarily a hitter?
The Rangers, when Mr. Hicks owned the team, they took such great care of us here. That was by far the best experience. I live here now. I've been here for 22 years now. So I mean, this is home now. It's always they just did a great job. The fans here are endearing. I was at the ballpark last night, just walking around, had some sweet visits to do. So they keep us involved within the organization doing things. Um, so they just a great experience when Mr. Hicks owned the team. So um, that's had a lot of fun being here. They said a lot of friends and that are really close to me now that are here. So and there's a large contingent of former players, whether it be baseball or any other major sports that live in the area. So you can't throw a rock without hitting somebody here. So it's a great experience just to be around, and we're always getting together, doing stuff with so many charity events, doing things around here. So, um, and as far as hitting instructors, Rudy was the best. Rudy Jaramillo is the best in the business. I had him for 5 years. So I mean, he did an excellent job. And, he still continues to do stuff these days.
Yeah, he does. I forget what team he's with, but yeah, you're right. He's still
He
around.
he
So
was. I think he was with no, Anaheim. I think is where
I
he
think
was at one
so.
point.
Yeah, it
Yep, he
sounds
was with Anaheim.
all right. I
Yep.
don't I don't know if he's still there now, but yeah, I think yeah, because I know he's still around. That name definitely. Now you mention it, that name does ring a bell, and I have heard him around. But yeah, he is one heck of a hitting coach. I do admit that. Um, so throughout your whole career, take away one experience, one memorable moment that you remember at all throughout. I know it's hard because it was years ago. It's hard to remember, but take us through one of your moments that you remember that you will cherish for the rest of your life in your MLB career.
I don't even. I don't even know really. I mean, there's so many things that you go through. You don't really think about different stuff like that. I guess um, maybe getting to see Wrigley, Fenway, and Yankee Stadium all in the same year. That was first year for Interleague was 2002. My first two home run game was at Wrigley as a rookie, so get a chance to do that and experience that with the Ivy and everything else. Um, I can't think of anything else really that really stands out that just was memorable and anything else. Just being around guys and seeing different things throughout my career.
I agree. So then, what stadium would you say was the best that you visited out of all the stadiums? Then
Wrigley by far the best, but the place that I love to go the most all the time was Seattle.
that is good.
Weather's great. I love seafood, being able to walk around downtown and do things. It's 70 degrees. You couldn't beat that. So you were going there 3 times a year.
Is it true what they say about Seattle that it always rains up there?
I don't even remember it really raining much when we were there. Um, I mean, like I said, the roof was, I mean, the roof's been open before. But I mean, you can't beat it. You can't beat 75 degrees in the
No,
summertime. So, I mean,
no, you're right. You can't. You're legit right. So tell me, in your either your minor league, your major league career, whoever you had, what pitchers dominated you, and who did you have the most success with?
I couldn't hit Tim Hudson when he was in Oakland. He was 94, 98, all over the plate, ball move all over the place. Didn't help with the umpires at that time, too. Um, but, you get a chance to do all that stuff and see those. So I mean, and then on the flip side, Ryan Franklin, who was in Seattle at the time, was another guy that I'd actually hit well, and then he gets to the National League, and then I can't do anything with him. So I mean, it really just, uh, uh, they said umpires didn't help that back then. I know nowadays, and now it's become too scrutinized with how the strike zone and everything else is. So
No, I agree. I agree with that. Now, now that you mentioned that, I gotta ask you, what is your take on that? Because that's what MLB is trying to consider now, is going to robot umps. Do you what's your take as a former player? How do you feel about that? I know they want to change it to where there's not ejections and all that, but you that's replacing the human element of the game, I think. So what's your take as a former player?
that's exactly what it's doing. I mean, you can't. I mean, what's the point of even playing the game? Why not just have guys sit at home and play themselves as a video game? Why even go? You know, you're sitting there you're challenging everything. Everything's challengeable. You're just dragging games out, doing stuff. It's stupid the way the new rules are set up. Baseball will sort itself out at some point. I mean, just look at the way the game's played. It's batting averages are in the tank. You know, I think Whit Merrifield got hit the other day and was talking about guys don't even know how to pitch anymore. They just throw the ball as hard as they can and hope it finds the strike zone.
Which
Just a
I
matter of time before somebody
agree.
gets killed.
I agree. Sad. Do you honestly agree with him? Because I hate to say it too, but I'm half and half. I do actually agree with that, with what he's saying. I mean, there is still pitchers out there, yes, that do know how to pitch. Yes, I agree. But I do agree with him too, that there is a lot out there that these teams are calling up that just want to throw, as hard as can and don't know where it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how do you think that can? Do you think that'll ever get fixed?
No, because it starts at this youth level. It's just go throw it as hard as you can and hope you find the strike zone. People they say nobody cares how hard you threw ball four, but that's all it is. It's all about numbers and analytics. It's what's destroying the game. The numbers say you got to throw it this hard because it lights up the radar gun. That's great, but you know, like I said, it's just a matter of time before somebody gets killed because these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just throwing up there as hard as they can.
And I agree with you on that. Merrifield got lucky that he dodged out of the way he did, because if it wasn't, yeah, that would have been right towards his, yeah, that would have been right in his face if he
You
didn't
see,
move at the right way.
you see it all the time. I mean, it's terrible.
It
Guys
is.
don't pitch anymore. They just throw. Guys don't hit anymore. They just go up there and swing. It's terrible.
Now, granted, they have tried. I do grant it that it has gone trying somewhat of the old school way. They have tried it. They've tried emphasizing more steals by making the bags more bigger, but to me, it's still the same game as it was before they started doing that. And it's honestly, to me as a fan, I know I haven't played it at a collegiate or pro level, but as a fan, I hate it because to me it's just more boring and it puts me to sleep because now it's just walk, strikeout, home run, and that's basically it. It's not run. It's not run the run. It's not get the run over, hit the ball single, double. It's like frowned upon now if you hit a single. It's ridiculous.
That's what I said. That's what it's all about numbers, statistics, and everything else. That's why batting averages are in the tank. And now the rules are terrible. Bigger bases. It wasn't a problem for Ricky and those guys. That's what I mean. It's all about trying to just make the game. It's all about money. That's what you're trying to do. And now Manfred's saying, well, starting pitchers now need to go at least 6 innings. Well, that starts back at the youth level. So you're trying to change everything now. The pitch clock. You can only throw over so many times.
Don't
Go
get me
through
started on that. That I think that's stupid. The pitch clock because
all of it. All the rules are.
you guys didn't even. I know you didn't pitch, but you guys didn't even need that. The pitchers back when you played didn't even freaking need that. They didn't even need the goddamn pitch clock. They just freaking pitched the ball as is.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's terrible.
I mean, I get you want to shorten the games, but that is not helping these stupid ass rules.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible what they're doing with all of it. That they have you can challenge balls and strikes now. I think is what it is in the minor leagues. They can. I mean, okay, games are 2 hours, 2+ hours. You paid $500 to go to a game. You don't want to get in and out. You want to experience everything, right?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
That's what I mean. It's all about money, all about money. That's what it's always going to be chasing around. And they're going to love Manfred as long as he's running the show.
Now, the only thing I kind of do like though, I'm iffy. I'm still 50-50 on is what they implemented in the COVID year, the ghost runner on second. I kind of like that, but I also kind of don't because it takes away the volume of the time of the game and the experience, but also it kind of also makes it more interesting too because you could also it could still go drag on and drag on depending on if the team hits. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of iffy 50-50 on that. What's your take on the ghost runner?
It's terrible. Play the game. The game has been around for 125 years, 130 years. Why do you have to change all these stupid rules to bring people in? You're trying to bring in more people that could care less about the game.
Which is true, and that's what
And
they've
it's because
done.
this generation, they wanted everything fast and everything else. You know what? Who cares about what this generation want? Let the game, and that's why. That's why it's going where it's going.
So obviously you played under not Tagliabue. Sorry, that's football. I meant Selig. Sorry, my bad. Uh, Selig. I know he had his faults, but I know he ain't nothing like freaking Manfred. I don't understand why when he retired he handed it down to Manfred. He could have done somebody better than Manfred. I mean, any guy who considers his league's trophy to be a piece of metal, that I mean, come on, that's far out there. I mean, come on. So I mean, I granted Selig has issues, but you got to admit Selig was a way better commissioner.
I stay away from all the politics of baseball. I didn't worry about what the commissioner or anybody else was doing. I let our team rep deal with all that, and then if I had any questions, whatnot, I'd ask him. But no, I stay away from the political side just because it's that business side. They didn't care about us, and we didn't care about them.
My one of my viewers, baseballers, I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, obviously we talked about earlier. Yeah, you broke in with A Rod and Palmero. Do you think Palmero should be in the Hall of Fame with just numbers alone? What's your take on that?
They all deserve to be. Every one of them. I was talking about this last week on a show. If they think because of the steroid stuff, you know what? Then build a section just for the steroid era guys. There'll be more people in that section there wouldn't any other part of it. Those are the guys that brought baseball around. Whether or not they did or didn't do it, there's guys that are doing it still today. You know, just like the whole gambling thing with Otani. Baseball, he knew exactly what the hell was going on. But as soon as if that comes out, then the baseball's sunk and they lose all their money.
Right.
That's what it's
I
all
agree.
about. It's always about money, plain and simple.
I
If
agree.
they're dumb enough, if people are dumb enough to think that Otani had nothing to do with it, you must have thought too that, I got some beachfront property in Arizona I can sell you too.
No, I agree with you. I think he had something to do with it. I mean, granted, yeah, I'm sure he didn't gamble in the games, but yeah, I'm sure he had something. He knew what was going on with his translator. You can't tell me he didn't. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with you, and I think Baseball Russ can agree with me on this as well. He can comment as well. But yeah, I agree. There should be, and I agree with you. There should be, because yeah, unfortunately, that was a part of the game that'll never go away, and that made the game better because they didn't test for that, unfortunately. And yeah, I agree with you. There should be a simple hallway in the Hall of Fame for guys who did that. I truly agree with that because that's an unfortunate part of the game, and that's
Yep.
what made it better.
Yeah. I mean, those guys, I mean, Sammy and McGuire brought, when they thought they were losing fans, here come, it wasn't a problem then, right? Because it's putting money in their pocket. I mean, it's all hypocritical with everything that they do. And I think now, even nowadays, they're even changing the Hall of Fame. And, they talk about it's like the Hall of Mediocrity. What are we doing? I want people, when I think of Hall of Fame, I think people that transcend the game. Not guys that were just, I mean, people argue all the time. There's guys that should be and guys that shouldn't be.
Yeah. What do you think of this year's ballot, though? Do you think the right ones got in?
Like I said, I don't even really pay attention to it. There's no point in that. I don't know who got in this year. I think
McGriff?
Helton did, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Helton got in. I think Mauer got in, and I think Beltray got in.
Yeah. Those two for sure, Beltray and Helton. But people say, well, his numbers could have been inflated because he played at Coors. I don't see how Joe Mauer got in, but that's what I mean. I don't understand what the game is coming to where, you know, guys that changed the game of baseball.
I
That's what
under,
I think of.
I understand. I understand Helton's point, like you just said. I mean, people said why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but who cares if he played in Coors Field? I mean, you can't help the climate there. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
you
saying. But
doing
that's what people would say. If he's not there, well, it's not his fault he got drafted by the Rockies. You
yeah.
know, what do you expect? He just did what he's telling. It's kind of like these guys with sports. Well, they had an easy football schedule. Well, that team didn't pick the schedule. They just went out and did what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. It's ridiculous. I say honestly, I think you can agree with me on this. Hall of Fame should basically be voted by the players and coaches of the game, not
Yes,
writers who have totally different agendas. And I think you can agree with that, right? These writers, I think, don't let these players in because they have certain agendas against them. Because of like for instance, I was talking to my previous guest that I had on, um, a former pitcher, Dennis Safarte, and he brought up to me as well. I totally forgot about this, but with Barry Bonds, even though yeah he took the steroids, his he was not good with the media, and that I think that also factored into also him not being in the Hall of Fame as well because of how he treated the media. Do you kind of agree with that too? That it's just agenda driven.
it is. Well, that's just like society now. That's what the media tells us, so I have to believe it. It has to be true, right? And that's just the society now. They just get sucked into it because of, well, they said it, so it has to be true, as opposed to actually figuring out. I heard that, you know, when my first year, Carl Everett and John Rocker were two of the worst people to be around. I never had an issue with either one of them. I'm still good friends with both of them. Never had an issue. There was never an issue in the clubhouse between those two. It's just how the media, wants to perceive it, right? That people are just looking for a story and to go from there.
No, I agree on that. So looking looking at the looking at the I gotta ask you, you obviously played in Oakland. Okay. I know you don't follow politics, it's just fine, it's understandable. I don't either, I could care less. But you do gotta feel bad for the city of Oakland losing all their teams. I mean, Oakland athletics have been there for years. I mean, I hate when the owner freaking says, "Oh, the city did not want to pay for this." No, it's 50-50 straight up. You did not want to be there. You did not want to play there. You wanted the money. You got what you wanted. You're going to Vegas, which is, I don't even know if that's going through. But what is your take? Because you went to you played you didn't play for Oakland, but you went to Oakland as a player. I mean, you got to feel for that fan base and losing the Oakland Athletics, because that stadium, I know it is a dump, but it's still a part of history.
Yeah. You feel bad for because, you said it was the same fan base that was there when I was there, the ones in left field or just walking out of the clubhouse, always the same group. But like I said, it's all about money, what they're doing. Oakland is this, where it was right there. I mean, there was not much around it. You could put something in and kind of, and build that area back up. But I don't know. You said who knows if, but the fans have had enough, right? They're boycotting and everything else. So, I mean, but that's what it's all about. It's all about money. What can we do, right? Because gambling is becoming a part of sports. And here you go. Now you've got 3 professional teams now in Vegas. It'll be a matter of time before they have NBA
Yeah,
as
with
well. So I
LeBron.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't
So
get me
yeah.
started
So
on
what you're
that.
doing, it's all about the money. They're big markets. That's what they're looking for.
I'm hoping, I'm praying for Oakland, because yeah, I went through that same thing. I felt that as a fan, because I honestly thought the Rays was going to leave. Honestly, with all the talk before this whole new stadium thing came out, finally. But that was the whole talk too, that we were going to lose our team. The owner wanted to move back to Montreal, which I don't know. Didn't that experiment wouldn't work. They gave up. The city gave up on them years ago. That's why they moved to Washington.
Yeah.
So, you I know you don't remember stuff that much, but do you remember this? What Baseball RS, my one of the biggest fans, says? Do you remember this? Do you see what this, that you were 3 for 3 against Neil Kotz? You hit
Yeah.
2 home
I heard
runs.
about I heard about that. AJ Przinsky told me about that one day. I guess they had their advanced meetings. I guess it always comes up how guys do, and AJ I guess had mentioned, he goes, Mench, I was talking about that in there, and I just like, Neil, just don't pitch to him. So, and then like I said, Ryan Franklin, he was a starter when he was in Seattle, so it had good numbers against him, and then when he was in the National League, I couldn't hit him. That's just the way baseball goes.
Yeah, you just never know who you own, and obviously you for some odd reason you just saw the ball well off those two guys.
Yeah. Yep. I did for some odd reason.
um, and yeah, like you said, and that led to AJ Przinsky probably telling him not to pitch to you, and I can see that.
Yep.
But you honestly got to say, when that happens though, as a player, do you like when catchers tell that, when you own a pitcher like you did, and you hear your catcher say "don't throw to you"? What makes what goes on through your head as a player? Do you like that personally?
I don't care. It never really bothered me. It was just, I think it happened in passing after the fact. Maybe I don't even remember when AJ brought it up. But just just hearing that story. I mean, I couldn't tell you what my career stats would be against anybody really. Just but doing that, I mean, I would have thought I'd had 3 at bats against him and done that.
I know, right? Who would have thought? Thank you, baseball. I didn't know that either. Like, that's like way down memory lane there. I mean, God, that had to be like early on in your career.
Couldn't even tell you.
I
It's been,
know.
like you said, it's been so long.
So, I gotta ask you. We just had the Olympics this year. Obviously, baseball is going to be in LA, and so is softball. It's an Olympic city trial basis by city, whoever wants it. Uh, what's your take on the Olympics? Do you think? I know MLB stars, the big stars, have come out and said they've wanted to play. Do you think uh, baseball owners will allow that to happen, to allow their players to play? I asked this to all the baseball guys I have on just to see what they would say. What do you think? Do you think they'll stop the season to let the players play, the ones that do want to play in it?
No, it's all about money and their investment. They won't. I don't think they'll allow them, but that's going to be up to the union to decide. If they take a hiatus for whatever. I mean, however many it's going to be, whatever it'll be what, 3 weeks? I
Yeah,
don't know how long. So I mean, I don't know. Don't know what the plan is because it's usually what, the end of July. I don't know what the dates are. So I mean, you're
yeah,
right. Where
end
you're
of
trying, the
July.
teams are trying to make a playoff push, and owners aren't going to want their players to go deal with that. So they're going to have to, maybe they pull minor league guys. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. As they said, it's all
well,
about
that's what
money.
it is. That's what it is now. Is minor league guys. That's what it is now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what they'll plan on doing. I don't know.
Did in your career? Did you ever think about going for Team USA when it was at least in constant years of having it in the Olympics?
No, never even thought about it. Too much, enough going on, and I need don't worry about anything playing somewhere else or doing something else.
Touche, touche. So now, I gotta ask you. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. We don't like the way the game is going. Um, Unfortunately, it's money grabs. But what would you like to see as a former player? Uh, what would you like to see the game come back to? More improvements. What would you like to? What would you like it to come back to?
Just go back to the way the game was played. Don't learn to play the game right. They took out the shift. You can't be here. You have to have both. Really, it's my team. Let me put them wherever the heck I want to put them on the field. If a guy's going to do that, are going to play hit into the shift. That's fine. But learn to play the game. Right now, it's if I can't win, I don't want to play. That's the mentality that everybody has now.
And unfortunately, like you said, that goes to Little League now, right?
That's where it starts.
So,
Exactly.
so if you were coaching, what would you tell your kids?
I do coach. I mean, it's just play the game. You know, Stop complaining. Play the game. Stop worrying about what. Learn to do everything in baseball. Right. The more you can do, the better off you're going to be. It's not about how hard you throw. I mean, those guys are a dime a dozen now. Okay, what separates you from everybody else? That's the biggest thing. But these kids just they watch it and they assume now they're automatically better for watching as opposed to actually going out and doing.
Now, since you say you do coach, and I know you do try to help these kids. I mean, do you think they listen to you? I mean, do you think they'll go down like what baseball is and do what baseball is today and not do like what you're trying to teach them?
No, they don't listen. I mean, they don't even this generation doesn't even know who guys are. Jim Tomey came in for a golf thing we had last year. And we had breakfast, and he's like, "Menchie, I go to games and around the batting cage, and guys have no clue who I am." That's how pathetic it is. This generation. I mean, here's the president of your alumni that you're going to be a part of at some point. You don't even know who the guy is. It's
That's
pathetic that
sad.
this
That
generation
is
doesn't know who these guys are. They don't know about the history of the game. They're just worried about themselves.
that is sad. I mean, God, and I feel like I was bad not knowing much of the players, but that's I know more than this generation, and that's saying something because I grew up literally watching it in the early '90s when I could remember, and of course, unfortunately, the steroid era. So I remember guys like Jim Thome, Manny Ramirez, Kenny Lofton, all them guys, Rafael Palmeiro. I know all those players, and it's sad to see, like you said, like I would know them walk. I would know them walking if they, hell. I would know them walking if they came down the street. I would know them because I watched them. I watched them throughout my entire life growing up. I wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
So, and you're right. It's just sad. Like I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I can't believe this is what sports has gone to. It's not just baseball. It's in every sport.
Yes.
So analytic driven.
Yep. Exactly what it is.
Like these kids don't even know the players anymore, like of the past. I mean, I think you can agree with this. We just went through with baseball with these kids, like in any sport. Like I can any of these kids guarantee you know who Michael Jordan is besides his shoe,
Yeah.
or let's see, um, John Elway in football, or Wayne Gretzky in hockey. Can any of those kids know who those are? Like seriously, it's sad.
No, because they don't read up on any of it. They just go with what they're told. It's kind of like the whole generation that believed that the Holocaust never happened. Right? Oh, that never happened. Really? That's how stupid people are.
Yep,
Because they don't take the time to actually do the research. They just go by what somebody's telling them.
yep,
No more free thinking anymore.
yep. I agree. So I see you got tons of memorabilia in the back. What out of all those, which is your favorite? I
My '80 Olympic hockey team jersey signed by everybody, the entire team. Herb Brooks signed card on the front of it.
Nice, nice. I know. I see you got. Is that a Giroux jersey back there? Flyers. You got Schmidt. Who's the 28 back there?
That's my jersey from. We had retro night my first year and had the team sign it.
Ah, very nice.
It's a Gretzky jersey up here, the one that's up here.
I figured that one. I figured that was hockey. Is
The old,
the hockey stick signed too?
yeah, that one's signed by Pierre Turgeon.
Nice. Wow, a lot of memorabilia. I wish I had that.
I got all kinds of good stuff in here. So
So, yeah, I'm gonna ask a couple more questions and we'll head out. Um, I thought we'd go over an hour, but hey, when you're having fun, it goes quickly. So if you have any questions, more questions for Kevin, Baseball Us, go ahead and ask before we hang up here. Um, but yeah, I mean, I have to say, I have to say this though, and I agree with you. Baseball has definitely got to change because you're losing out on tons of old fans. Yeah, you're getting the new ones, but at what cost? The ones that don't give a shit, that don't give a shit about the game.
yeah,
And honestly, I think that'll come back to bite them in the ass. I don't know. Do you think that'll come back and bite them? Honestly,
it'll sort itself out for sure. Just, I mean, it's been around for the baseball gods aren't. They're not stupid. They know. Just like the guys that disrespect the game with, you know, these bat flips and all this stupid dancing and everything else when they're on the. I always go back to Larry Fitzgerald when he'd score a touchdown, he'd just hand the ball to the official and run back. Act like you've done it before. Have respect for your teammates, your players, the game itself, because baseball gods do not forget.
exactly. I agree with you on that. And Baseball Us has a question. If you can remember out of your best ability, what was your favorite home run? If you can remember to your best ability.
Wouldn't even know. Would not even know how to even. Nothing to even really think about with all that. Just nothing comes to mind. Really, I'm so far gone from it.
I feel you from that. I mean, it has been a long time. I feel you, and like I said, I'm not that old, but I still feel old. So, I mean, I forget a bunch of crap
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
um, so, I gotta ask you. I know you obviously debuted with the Rangers. You came up with veterans. Um, how close were you guys to actually making it into playoffs, or did you guys even go to playoffs this year? Because I'm trying to remember if you guys ever did
No,
as a
no,
bunch.
no. '05, I think, was the closest we were in it. I think until about the last week of the season. But before that, no, we weren't. We weren't close
Okay,
really in those years. So
and and like I said before, that's saying something with you guys. You guys had a stacked team, and it's just crazy hard to believe. I baseball said '04. You guys were close, so okay,
okay,
that's okay.
'04, '05, one of those years. I don't even remember.
'04, you were three out. Okay. That's thank you, baseball or us for that. I appreciate that.
I don't even remember. Like I said, I don't even remember any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. That's why I got thank God for baseball or us, who my biggest fan, especially when I have baseball guys on. Um so obviously you coach. What is what is one thing you regret in your playing days that you take to coaching nowadays?
Mm, nothing. I just try and instill what way I was taught to play the game into everybody that I come around. I've had more people come up to me and say, "Hey, I love the way you played the game." I said, "That's just the way I was taught. Blue collar." You know, Nowadays it seems like guys are afraid to get their uniforms dirty. They're all about looking good and pretty, and they've got all this shiny bling on, and oven mitts, and elbow guards, and face guards, and shin guards, and pink bat, and they got tennis racket grips on bats now, and you know these guys are just ridiculous, coddled, entitled little brats.
No, I agree. I can't agree with you more on that. So now, uh, crap. Where was I going with this? I had it right on the tip of my freaking tongue. God dang it. Um, oh, the we kind of briefly spoke about it, but not the unwritten rules in baseball. You obviously had them as old players. Is that really a true thing? The unwritten rules of baseball.
Hmm.
Is that really true?
It has in every sport. There's
So
always
so can you exactly tell me do you what cuz I never played the game like I said collegiately or pro, but I did play little league and I don't remember what they were in little league because obviously I was little and young and I was stupid and naive. But what exactly are the written rules of baseball? Can you tell me that?
it's kind of hard to explain, really. It's just like anything else you do. There's always unwritten rules that you go through, whether it's, I mean, sports is where you hear the term. The way things are handled. You've got, always talk about. I know that like the whole thing with the Astros cheating using the trash cans. Well, everybody's always tried to do that. But pitchers going out and hitting guys. That's just, you don't show somebody up. You go out and then you're going to take your medicine for it. That's just a part of it. It's kind of like an internal. It's hard to, like I said, it's hard to explain really what how unwritten rules are really handled. You don't hear about it a lot, but when you do, you'll know it just because of the situation. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to explain without really having a scenario.
Oh, baseball or us has one question for you, and then he told us about one unwritten rule, and this sounds stupid to me. Let's start off with the unwritten rule. If you know about this, can't bunt or steal after 8-1 read. Is that true?
I get yes and no. It really just depends on how the game is. I mean, if somebody goes up, I mean, you could score 30 runs, right? And they're scoring, but if each team is putting up runs and you're still down 8, no, like it was said, guys got a no hitter going and you're down 8-0. If you want to do it, whatever. Just you got to understand too. You might get drilled next time, but if it's like a 2-0 or 3-0 game and you're getting hit and you try and bunt, there's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to get guys on base. That could be. There's an unwritten rule if people want to say it, but it just
Yeah,
depends on how it's.
that's exactly what baseball or us brought up. Is like, yep, no bunt hits to break up no hitter. I could see that, like you said, yeah. Depending on what the score is, yeah, I could see that. Or if it is just indeed a no hitter, yeah.
The flow of the game. If you're up by like 15 runs, the other team's not doing much. I mean, yeah, you don't start stealing bases and stuff. That's another kind of an unwritten rule.
And
It's
then
something that's really policed by the players more than anything.
now, do you agree with that as a player though? Do you like that?
What?
Honestly, the unwritten rules. Do you honestly like that as a player? Do
Yeah,
you
because it kind of keeps the integrity of the game to where it is, to how it is. It's like, guys, that's you're respecting the game of doing that. You're respecting the guys around you.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of managers that don't do that nowadays because, like you said, they're all gone pretty much. They're all retired. So who's left to do that, implement that
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah. It's all the analytics guys that say, no, you can't do that and this and that.
Because I think obviously Marusa's gone, Tori's gone, Dusty just retired. Yeah, there's nobody else anymore to, I don't think, implement that kind of play except for the players. But like you said, these players nowadays, they're young. They don't really know much about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think.
They
Oh,
don't.
and bat flips as
Yep.
well. Okay, yeah, that's true. I can see that. Because look at what happened to Tim Anderson when he did that bat flip with the White Sox. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what you get. That's what you get. You respect the game and you respect your players. So you don't like it. If you're okay with a bat flip, you better be okay with getting drilled.
Which I don't like that either. I'm with you on that. I don't like the whole thing that they're going to what the kids play with bat flips and celebrations. I get it. I mean, you want to celebrate a home run, but do it when it's like a walk off or something like that, and something that's a key component. Don't do it like if it's just a regular old home run. You know, I mean, do you agree with that? If it's a walk off, then yeah, you celebrate. Why not? But I mean, if it's just a regular old home run, why do the whole celebration thing?
Because it's all about me. It's all about look what I did. You're bigger than the game of baseball when you do that stuff. That's what you think.
And that's why you get hit, like you
Yep.
said.
Exactly.
And the question was, since we got into the written rules, the question was from Baseball Us, who was your idol growing up?
Mike Schmidt.
I should have known that with the jersey, yeah, behind you, yeah.
Yep.
Did you idol your game off of his?
No, just like I mean, I guess the way I played, yeah. Got a chance to meet him several times. Really nice guy, down to earth. Uh, you know, and gone are the days where they're not going to have guys staying with one team anymore. There's no loyalty from
No,
either side.
no, you're right. Between the players and teams, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's just money,
Yeah.
money. There's no
Yep.
loyalty anymore.
Nope. Not
I
at
mean,
all.
the days of, especially the Rays do that all the time. That's why the fans can't get involved with a player because they're always trading away their best player, at least within 3-4 years.
Yep.
Like look what Kevin Kiermaier, he was with us the longest. They just traded him away this year. No, actually didn't trade him away. No, they did trade him to Toronto. Yeah, I mean the Rays are a key component in that. That's why we can never get, as a fan base, can never get situated with a player because the owner's freaking trading him away. It's like you said, it's just a loyalty thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm still obviously a fan in the game, but like you are, but I don't know. I mean, it's just honestly boring to me now. Like I can literally watch a game and halfway through it, I'm falling asleep. That's sad. I never used to be that way during a game.
Yeah,
That's how sad and boring it is.
yeah.
I mean, and I feel bad for you because you played it. I mean, for it to come like this is really sad, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to change or how's it going to change, but it's really got to change.
It will. It'll sort itself out.
I hope you're right
It will.
because I'm really losing interest in it. I really am.
A lot of the purists are. So
I don't know. Why can't we be like the people over in Japan where they really care about their sport?
well, no, that's where the game's going. It's heading that direction of Japanese style baseball, all about analytics and everything else.
Yeah, but they at least care over
Yeah,
there and
because
they
that's all they
know.
have. That's all they have. I mean, they don't have all the major sports like we do. So it's you've got to fit. Your fan bases are stretched pretty thin between those two, between
Very
sumo
true.
and baseball. Yeah,
Very true. Yeah, there's what only 6 or 7 teams at all. I maybe say maybe 8, if
there's
that.
12,
Oh, there's
12
12. Okay.
6 in each division.
Okay. So there. Okay, there you go. So yeah, that's all they have basically.
Yep.
Hence why they can take off for the Olympics.
Yes. Yep.
Touche. Okay, I agree with that. So I guess I'll let you go off on this. It was definitely fun. I do appreciate it. Again, I would like to have you on again soon as well, if you don't mind. But also, since you are close with players, some players, if you can, I'd like to have some of them. If you can have them reach out to me, I'd appreciate it if you can. If not, that's fine. At least you tried or whatever. Just let me know. I'd like to have some of the guys at least come on. I'm always looking for more interviews. Um, but my last question to you is actually two, because I'm kind of curious. Did you know about this one? You're most noted for having the largest cap size in baseball when
Yeah.
you played. Is that true?
No, but if that's what they want to print, that's fine.
Oh man, that's crazy. And then the last one is how'd you get the nickname Shrek?
That Rusty Greer gave me that nickname in spring training of 2002.
Do you still have that nickname to this day?
Yep.
That's funny. That's
Yep.
funny.
People
But
still call me that all the time.
thank you. I do appreciate it. It was fun. I hope you had fun. Do you want a copy of the episode when I'm done posting it? Do you want a copy of it so you can listen to it or no?
I'll get it offline. Right? Is it
All
on
right.
there? Yeah.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
All right, but thank you. I appreciate it. You have fun.
Absolutely.
I pray for you. I hope since you are coaching, like you said, I hope these kids actually listen to you. I doubt they will since they're naive nowadays.
Yes.
But I seriously hope that you can get a hold of them and steer them in the right direction. I hope at
Yes,
least
sir.
one, at least one, at least. I hope at least one of the kids you coach. I know
Yes.
not all of them are going to listen, but at least I hope one does.
Yes, sir.
So
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But I do thank you, and you have a good rest of your day. All right.
I
I'll
appreciate it.
stay
Thanks,
in
Byron.
touch. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right.
All right.
Bye.